Hey you guys, welcome back to another video. So today is a lovely day in Durban. It is cold and you just want to snuggle up with your hot chocolate and watch a lovely movie. So my family's craving some lovely scones, so I'm just going to make them a few scones. I have my oven preheated at 200 degrees. So we're going to be serving this with some jam and grated cheese. So let's start making our scones. So these are the ingredients I'm using today. 2.5 cups of sifted cake flour. This is all-purpose cake flour. 1 extra large egg. 250 ml of fresh milk. 100 grams of butter, really cold butter. 4 level teaspoons of baking powder. And 2 tablespoons of caster sugar. If you want, you could use self-raising flour instead of the all-purpose flour and baking powder, but this is the normal recipe. We're just going to get going now. So let's get our ingredients together. So first I'm just going to combine my egg with my milk and just get that ready. We're just going to beat this together. Just combining those two, and I am going to set this aside for now. So I've got a large dish. I'm going to add the cake flour, all of it, the baking powder, the sugar. Just going to give that a quick mix. Just combining all this. And then with a clean hand, we're going to combine the butter with our dry ingredients until everything is combined. It will be a little bit of a breadcrumb consistency. So you don't want to use melted butter. You need to use cold butter for this. You can swap the butter for stork bake or a good quality margarine. You don't have to go out and buy butter, but to have a good buttery tasting scone, I recommend butter. Butter is best. So you will have a bit of a crumbly texture. Make sure to get your butter in there. Just going to mix everything. So let's go. So our butter is combined in quite nicely. I am using a butter knife, and now we're going to put our wet ingredients in a little bit at a time. We might not need to add everything, but that won't go to waste. We use that for brushing the top of the scones so we get a nice golden top. Just giving this a good mix. You don't want to over mix. Scones should not be overworked. We just want to lightly combine everything. And this is not ideal for the blender. You need to use a soft hand and just lightly combine all your ingredients. And at this point you can switch to your fingers. We're just going to lightly toss this around. You can see the dough is really soft. So I'm just going to add a little bit of flour, but this is also weather dependable. So remember, your flour consistency does change. Just a little bit. So our dough seems to be manageable and ready to cut, and we should get about 3 to 4 large, really extra large scones from here. If you want to make some fruit scones, you could add some raisins to this, or if you want some savory cheese scones, I'd recommend leave out the sugar and just add in some hard yellow grated cheese. You could add some dry parsley just to give it some color and a little bit of flavor, or even some black pepper or some ground mustard, that's mustard powder. So our dough is nice and soft now and manageable, and we're going to get our cutter and our baking tray ready. So this is the cutter I'm using today. It's probably about 8 centimeters. So I do have a small wooden board, and I floured my surface and just patting down lightly. You have to be gentle. Just want them to be a bit higher. And that's what it's looking like. We're just going to continue. So I did flour my baking tray just so that won't stick. So let's go with the rest. So here we have 4 beautiful large scones. We're just going to brush the top. You could double the recipe if you like, but scones really got to be eaten warm straight out of the oven. This is the egg and milk wash. And then I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of cake flour. This just makes it look, gives it that bakery look. And now we're going to pop this into our preheated oven for exactly 15 minutes. So there you go, our scones are now ready to eat. They are steaming hot and fresh, and what's better than that? As you can see, they're really large scones. I prefer making larger scones, but if you wish, you could make them smaller and you can get a bigger quantity. So now we're going to go and enjoy our scones. So I hope you enjoyed watching today, and I hope you're going to give it a try. I will list the ingredients in the description. Take care, love you lots, until our next video. Bye.